How's it going, guys? And today's video I am going to try to make third degree heart blocks a little easier to understand. Now there are first degree, second degree, and then third degree, and within second degree you have subcategories. But I'm only going to talk about third degree heart blocks in this video. But before we get into that, when we talk about heart blocks, what exactly are we talking about here? So you have the SA node, which conducts electricity and is the pacemaker. It sets the pace for your heart to contract, right? Well, this electricity is conducted and sent down to your AV node. And the AV node is like a pause button. Let me put a little pause symbol on there. So the AV node is a pause button. So it's gonna pause the conduction, the electricity is gonna hold it there, and what it's gonna do, why it does that, it's doing it because it's allowing the atriums to contract, to squeeze. So it's gonna hold the electricity there. After these are done contracting, they squeeze the blood down to your ventricles, then it's going to release that electricity and it's going to conduct down the bundle of His, your bundle branches, and then finally your Purkinje fibers, where your ventricles will then contract. All right, so that's what's going on. So bottom line, long story short, when we're talking about any heart block whatsoever, whether it's first degree, second degree, or third degree, we're talking about the AV node. There's an issue here where either there's a complete block, partial block, a delay due to a block, but it has to do with your AV node. Now, with a third degree heart block, we're talking about a complete blockage. There is a complete blockage here. So that electricity may be going down to the AV node, but it's staying there. It's not continuing down to the bundle of His and bundle branches and then Purkinje fibers. So normally, let me see, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. All right, so with this being said, let's go to an EKG. Now I know I do these videos for EMTs, but usually, I mean, it's better to know more than to know less. So I want you guys to be educated a little more. That way when you're working with your paramedic, you kind of have an idea of what they're talking about. Now looking at the EKG here, this is called a PQRS, and I left the T wave. Usually there's a T wave here, but I'm not even going to talk about that. So the P wave, which is usually always in front of the QRS, that represents your atriums. So your atriums. So every time this S wave sends its impulse, electricity, that will cause your atriums to contract, to squeeze blood down to your ventricles. And that's what this P wave right here means. So that just means that your atriums are squeezing down because the SA node fired. The QRS wave, that means that your Purkinje fibers are conducting electricity because the electricity travels down from the AV node to the bundle of His, bundle branches, and then your Purkinje fibers. So they're squeezing. So to make it simple, the P wave means that your atriums are contracting or squeezing down, and the QRS, this is a QRS, that means that your ventricles are squeezing, they're contracting. So contraction. So I kind of drew a little line. So P waves means contraction. Contraction and depolarization are the exact same thing. It's a fancier way of saying contraction or squeezing. So contraction, depolarization, squeezing, it's all the same thing. So let me write that right here. That might help some of you guys a little bit more. So squeezing, we just squeeze. These all mean the same: contraction, depolarization, and squeeze. So P wave means that your atriums are contracting, squeezing, right? And then the QRS means that your ventricles are squeezing, contracting. All right, so hopefully that cleared that up. Don't worry about the rest of the stuff. I was working on some other stuff, so that's just other things that I'm working on. But anyways, so in a third degree heart block, since we have a complete separation between your atriums and your ventricles because they're doing their own thing now, what happens is you still have P waves. You may still have P waves because your SA node is still going to fire, right? So if your SA node is firing, these are going to contract automatically. Both of your atriums are going to still contract. That's not going to be an issue. But now, since there's a block in the AV node and that signal is not going down to your Purkinje fibers, what happens is you have your own pacemakers down in your Purkinje fibers. So they can set their own pace if they have to. So you're still going to have QRSs, right? You're still going to have that. Usually, in a normal PQRS, you have a gap between 0.12 seconds to 0.20 seconds. So you'll have a P wave followed by a QRS, and it will not be longer than 0.20 seconds. Now, with the heart block, a third degree heart block, you have random P waves and random QRSs. So it'll be kind of like this. There is no set pattern. You see how you have PQ, there's a nice little gap in between, then a P, then a long gap and a QRS, and then you have a P right afterwards, so it kind of symbolized the P, and then you have no QRS at all after this one, and there's a P again, a QRS, P, QRS, and it kind of just keeps on going like that. And there's no pattern, there's no rhythm. There's big gaps, little gaps, big gaps, little gaps. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Hopefully this is actually helping out. So the P's represent the atriums contracting. I put a V for the QRS for ventricles. And that's what you have here. So what you have is complete separation. They're pretty much divorced. So what I mean by divorced is that the atriums are doing their own thing and the ventricles are doing their own thing. They are not communicating. These are still firing and these are still firing, but they're doing their own thing. And that's what I mean by they're completely divorced. Nothing's going on. And that's really a third degree heart block. Hopefully I made it simple. But just remember that when we're talking about a heart block in general, just a heart block in general, we're talking about the AV node. There's a problem with the AV node because it's not allowing that signal, that impulse to continue down from the SA node to the bundle his and bundle branches and Purkinje fibers. And that was third degree heart blocks. If you have any questions, if I forgot to mention anything, or if you want more clarification, just go ahead and leave a comment below. Oh, also, before I forget, might as well say it. I haven't been doing this for a while, but I made a little skills book. So I think it's really helpful. It's straightforward. It's really more of a study guide. But if you go on Amazon, and I'll probably post it on my next video. It's just I've had it out for a while. I just haven't really advertised or told anybody about it. But I think it'll really help you out. It's super cheap, like $7.50, $7.50, I think. I forgot what it's for. But if you have a Kindle Fire, or if you want to download the Kindle app on your phone or any, I think it should go on any tablet. The title is EMT Skills Made Easy. So I broke it down to where you have visuals, so you actually have pictures with step by step, so made easy. Let me finish this first. Sorry, I get ahead of myself sometimes. So the way there's 3 ways to learn from the book that I made, the little guide. So you have pictures with little annotations, right? So step by step picture instructions of what to do for every single skill. And then you also have on a different page just the steps by themselves. So if you just want to read the steps by themselves, you also have that. And then you'll have a URL that will link you to my YouTube videos for these skills. So if you learn better by seeing pictures and then having the notes in the bottom as to what to do, that's good for you. If you learn better by just reading the notes and getting the breakdown without having any visuals, it's also going to help you out. But if you're more like me, where you have to see and hear everything, then the URL that will link you straight to my videos that pertain to every skill will help you out. So no matter what your learning style is, I try to make it as easy as possible. Again, please, if you do get the book, leave a review, because I'm gonna try to make a different book, a better book, and try to help you guys out, or at least you guys for refreshers or people that are coming after you. Either way, we're helping each other out here. So hopefully my videos help you out a little bit at least. And I'm really hope that this skills book really helps you out, because there's nothing out there that helps students out for skills And it's just something simple. So, all right, take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed.